I'm going to call this meeting to order at 6:32, and we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first thing on the agenda is.
Is it recording or?
It is. I don't know why this thing popped up. It's because it's Trevor's first night. Basically, but it's behind. Emma, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Can you see us?
I can see all of your beautiful faces except for poor Tom.
Okay.
Well, we're updated. I mean, if she's there, it's okay, right? We can,
Yeah.
or do you want me to
I
wait?
can-
It's in the background. So
Okay,
continue.
okay.
Good.
The first thing on the agenda is to amend the agenda. Does anyone need to amend the agenda? Hearing none. Next is to approve our previous minutes from the June 2nd meeting.
Sure, it was a typo, but on page 1, under new business, near the bottom of the page, Article 2, loan agreement to pay back the funds borrowed from capital reserve is a 5-year or 50-year loan. I'm sure it meant 10, I would think, not 50.
Oh, what's it for?
It says back,
On the minute.
yeah, back the funds borrowed from the capital reserve funds, whether it is a 5-year or 50-year loan. I would assume you meant,
Neither.
well, then it's wrong in the minutes.
I think it's for, not more than 6 months.
You want to see, do you have them in front
I
of you?
believe, I'll.
That's the only
What
type.
it says there is inaccurate. I'll go
Yeah.
back and,
Okay.
talk in Italian, watch the video but my recollection, money, to be borrowed for a period of not longer than 6 months.
That wasn't her raising her hand, right? I didn't know what the noise was. Sorry.
I think someone at every meeting.
Okay.
I don't know why this edge thing is.
Okay, so we can make that change. And then we would just need a motion.
Make the motion to approve the minutes with those corrections from 6 to 6.
I'll second the motion.
Is there any more discussion? Emma, how do you vote?
Aye.
Heather?
I have to abstain because I wasn't present.
Oh, yep.
Aye. Mary?
Aye, sorry.
Aye. The minutes have passed. Are there any public comments for items not on the agenda? Hearing none, we're going to move into the new agenda. We have a new face here tonight. This is Trevor's first official meeting. And first under new business is action item, consider approval of fiscal year 2027 tax anticipation note.
You got that covered? Sure. Okay. This is an exercise we go through every year, a tax anticipation note. It is a mechanism we use to borrow funds to keep the government running while we wait for tax collections to come in. All tax anticipation notes must be paid back in full by June 30th of the fiscal year. So we currently have no balance on the one we took last year, and this is one that we will put in place for the coming year. It is a $2.2 million essentially line of credit. We don't get charged for it unless we use it. Typically, we draw from it as we need it and then pay it back as the tax payments come in. The one stipulation that makes it a little different than a line of credit is you can't keep borrowing and putting it back and borrowing and putting it back. You do that till you get to the limit of the loan. So you get $2.2 million to borrow and put back. It's not like you could borrow $2.2 million all at once, put it back, and then 2 days later go out and borrow it again. and the interest rate is 4.9%. So I would ask you to consider approving the fiscal 27 tax anticipation note in the amount of 2.2 million at 4.9% to be paid back no later than June 30th, 27.
You know what, Heather's not here.
You might as well sit over here.
Dan Jones, how much interest was paid on the loan last year?
25,000.
Do you expect that amount this year?
Probably, yeah.
Is that typically what it's been?
Yeah, well, the interest rate this year, I think, is a little higher than last year. We should have access to a little more cash, but yeah, it's fairly typical. So you try not to use it.
Okay.
All right, next up is action item, consider approval of the lease for police vehicles.
Okay, all of your laptops have all the information in it. I think I mentioned Natalia was on vacation last week, so the documents got uploaded a little late. But what we're talking about here is, in part of the budget process, we scheduled the replacement of one of the police cars. Unfortunately, another one of them has been in a wreck and it was totaled. So what we're looking to do is to spend.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, I've got you on speakerphone, so you can be part of the meeting.
Okay, love you, sorry, thank you. Happy Wacky Wednesday, everybody.
We're looking to purchase, lease two Dodge Durangos, both of them new, but one's a 23 model, the other one's a 26 model. The 26 is 48,000, the 23 is 46,000. The radios that need to go in there are another $2,500. All the lights and radios and all that, the other gewgaws that go in there is about 14,000. The laptops that go in them are another 13,000. On the offset,
Back in, so we're getting 16,445 for that, and we're getting 5,500 for the car we're trading in. So the net total that we're looking to borrow for 5 years is $102,586.03. This would be a 5-year lease at 6.5%.
Mary?
Right now, I'm a little confused. So the car had an accident, it got totaled, obviously,
Yeah.
I guess. So they're paying out 16,000 for the car, or you said they have to pay out to put electronics in it, so.
It's for the value of the car, but that value also goes towards swapping out the equipment we can reuse. We have to send it to Massachusetts. They have to rip out all the stuff and reinstall it in the new car. And I should mention, one of the radios, since we don't have to buy that because it was newer, is in a different cruiser that the laptops are too old and won't handle the upgrades. So we had to out prior on money we didn't have budgeted for. So this would replace those funds that we paid for the other cars, radio and laptops.
So it just feels like we keep hearing about police vehicles, and every budget season, it seems like it comes up. It's like, is this going to be it now for a while for police cars? No, every year we're buying another one to replace an old one.
Yeah, basically all of the fleet, the police cars, the ambulances, the highway trucks, the target replace them every 5 years.
Right.
And normally that stretches to between 6 and 8 years, depending on availability and the conditions of the cars once we get them. But the expectation is that at 5 years, all of those types of vehicles there's two things going on. They're getting to where they're needing significant maintenance, but they still have a higher trade-in value. Like we used to get 15 to 20,000 for a highway truck trade-in. Now it's more like 40 to 60. So
It'd be great if it was.
well, the other side of it is it used to be 130,000 to buy a truck, and now it's 200,000 to buy a truck, which is why the prices go up on the used vehicles so much. So yeah, keeping the fleet in good shape. Cops' cars don't run, the ambulances don't run, and we've seen in the past when we stretched out the life of them due to COVID availability, that the repair bills really ratchet up. Both of these cars have about a $6,000 bumper to bumper, 100,000 mile, everything warranty. So,
Is this what we've been doing, like most of your tenure here? Like every year, come up and buy another vehicle?
yeah, this is unusual because of the
Well,
wreck.
because of the wreck,
Yeah,
right?
but
Normally, if the
normally,
wreck wasn't there,
right, and then that's on the capital budget that we talk about in January, you have the cash that we set aside, but then the fleet that we have is underneath with the targeted replacement dates. So, yes, everything's getting more expensive, and availability gets tighter, but the standard process has been in place for quite some time.
okay.
Jeffrey.
Is this totaled vehicle different from the one that was crashed on Main Street during that chase? Or is it, it's a-
The other one got repaired.
oh, okay, so this is not, okay, this is an additional one.
Additional one.
Is this normal? For cars?
Well, hopefully not. In my time, there have been 3 cars crashed,
Oh, really?
and this
Even
is
your
2 of them.
15 years?
15 years, yeah. So,
Is there anything we can do to make this different?
uh,
Not us personally, but
well, the guys, all of them, well, the part-time certified officers, which I think we have 1 or 2, do not get driver training. The wreck that happened on Main Street, that got repaired,
right?
we did an internal investigation on that. The
Okay.
guy driving the car shouldn't have been doing some of the things he was doing.
Okay,
This one that got totaled,
yes.
also, there was some disciplinary action for it.
It's been investigated.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And none of these were, well, the one that they got fixed was a high-speed chase, and nobody should be doing high-speed chases. And, the other one was, unfortunately, the guy was on a night shift and dozed off a little bit, which was bad. And we've taken internal steps so that that doesn't happen. So
That's what happened with this car.
the totaled one.
I'm at least glad to hear that, because it feels like somebody made a nice mistake and we're all buying a new car or leasing a new car for it. So I'm glad that there was some kind of an investigation into that, consequences.
There are, and regardless of the department, we have had almost no even fender benders with all the, like the pickup trucks that the highway guys drive in the water and sewer departments. No accidents with the big dump trucks that, we've been here for a long time. None of the ambulances have been in wrecks, but things do happen. This particular thing was a young new officer. Yeah, there were consequences to his actions, well, for both of them and the high-speed chase as well. So, yeah.
Thank you.
So we would need a motion to consider the approval of that lease. 102,005.
8603 for a term of 5 years, at an interest rate of 6.5%.
I will make the motion based upon what Tom just said.
That's okay.
Is there any discussion? Heather, how do you vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. Emma?
Aye.
All right, that's passed.
Well, now that you've passed that, I'll complicate your lives a little bit. The bank was supposed to have the paperwork for us tonight and they don't. So, sometimes in the next 10 days, 2 weeks, if you could convene a special meeting to just come in, sign the documents. I don't even know if you have to have it in a meeting because you've already voted on the terms. So, anyway, the documents aren't here tonight to be signed.
So we'll come in and sign those in the near future.
Yes.
Gotcha. Perfect. We have another action item to consider the approval of the July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2029 Police Department contract.
So I sent an electronic copy. I didn't put it in the packet, but I did provide a hard copy here tonight. I think as I've mentioned, the key changes, the wage increases are 5%, 4%, and 5% over the 3 years. We increased the HRA from $4,488, $8,800 to $5,000 and $10,000. And I have a little extra news on that. And we gave the police access to our eye coverage that they didn't currently have. So all in all, it's very reasonable for what's going on in the market. We are not the highest paid department, but we are competitive. We are fully staffed. And thankfully this was done, never even met the union representative. I met the officers that are in the department, but the union has been going through some difficulties, and the local representation is difficult. So the staff here worked very well, kept their requests very minimum so that we could get this done in time for the start of the new.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 7/1/26 through 6/30/29 police department contract.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? Heather, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Emma, are you on it?
Yes, I.
Next up, we have a discussion item, fiscal year 2027 utility budgets for vote at our July meeting.
All right. Utility budgets. Utility budgets, the putting together the numbers isn't all that difficult. Getting the unit counts straightened out can be a challenge sometimes. What I have in a nutshell is we'll start with the sewer department budget, and the sewer is up 11.3%. The major reasons for that are costs associated with the retirement of me and Mike Reynolds is about $50,000. Digester cleaning, we have 2 digesters. We clean one every year, and it needs to be done. Prior to COVID was about 18,000, and it is now 50,000. There's 2 companies that do it. Both of them are priced the same way. So that's about a $22,000 increase over last year. Our pension contributions are up by 34,000. General wage increases to the staff is 16, and then just miscellaneous line items are up $37,500. So we have a staff of 4. As I think most know, Mike Reynolds is retiring in November. I think it's very fortunate that we had an individual come forward who grew up in town, currently works for the Woodstock wastewater department, has all the certifications we need. He's a young man, knows a lot of people in town, and I've hired him to start July 13th. So he'll have a couple of months to work together with Mike to learn the systems and the ropes. I've met with all the other staff. Seth will take Mike's spot as being in charge, but it'll be new for him to be in charge of the water and sewer, but he's certified to do all of those things. But now he'll have Alex as a good person to bounce ideas off. We have Chris, who came on as a master electrician, and he came from one of our subcontractors that works on our pumps and systems like that. He's been with us a year and a half or so. He's working his way through his water and sewer certifications as well. And we have Harry Benner, who's been here close to 40 years, who knows all of the weird science about the bugs, and is a great person to fall back on the plant operations and where is that line. And Harry's the guy that can still remember that in 1982 we buried something and forgot to put it on a map. So it's a pretty strong staff. But several years ago we went from 5 people to 4 people. So staffing is what it is. It's a big system and it's an old system, so maintenance and repair comes up pretty frequently. Last year, we jumped the capital contribution from around 100,000 to 200,000 so that we have more cash on hand to do immediate repairs. We also have bond authorization for projects that may get scheduled farther out to do the more significant repairs. We haven't done any of those things lately because we've had other cost concerns, whether it's with the town budget or the school budget or the utility budget. So there are things that can be done. We can look at the pension contributions. We can look at the capital. It is good to know that the staff retirement is a one-time thing. So you can give some consideration to what you want to do with capital contributions, you know, as long as you have the gumption to increase it again. Like if say you drop capital from 200 to 150 this one year to account for that. You can do that, but it really should be at a minimum of 200,000 a year going forward.
Jeffrey.
So why do retirements cost money?
Why do retirements cost money? Well, there are two components. In this case, I counted retirement costs as having to bring on a fifth person for several months.
Okay.
So that's that. And then a part of all of the employment agreements is a provision to pay off or pay out any unused paid time off or sick time. So Mike has a fair amount of that. My portion, I have a fair amount of that. You get half of your sick days that aren't used paid off. So that's where that comes from.
Gary.
Sort of related, but so the town employees, ET time, earned time, paid time out, whatever, it gets rolled over. Because in a lot of places, you get what you get and you can't roll it over.
Only sick days.
Only 6 days, sick days.
You can accrue a maximum of 600 hours. Some people have none. Other people have a lot.
For sick time, really?
For sick time, yeah. And the way it gets structured in the bigger picture is the idea is to have enough sick time to get you to short-term disability and use some sick time during that and into long-term disability if something really bad happens, that kind of thing. Vacation is, you get accrued hours every month to equal whatever your annual accrual is, and you're allowed to carry forward I should know this. It's either half of a year or hours that equate to about that. So if you have 4 weeks vacation and you didn't take any this year, you can bring 2 weeks forward and that's it. On the administrative side, usually we don't just take hours off the book. If somebody's saving up to take the dream vacation of a life, you know, they'll have hours on the book that they can take, but if they leave, they don't get paid.
Hearing no more questions? Is it safe to move on? Not safe.
So I'll
to
just
move
move on to the
Okay.
the water budget.
I'll ask another question. What falls under miscellaneous on the sewer?
That's if you go through the budget, there's, you know, some line items are down, some are up $1,500. I just didn't, I mean, they're all, the line items are there. That just makes up the difference that isn't included in these one line item bigger items. Okay, for the water, it's up about 8.5%. Same things driving it, staff retirements, pension contributions, healthcare went up just because of some change in staffing. The general wage increase is what it is and miscellaneous there. And one of the drivers behind the pension contributions is the rules for accounting for pension liabilities changed. So on paper, we look further in the hole than we are. And generally, our pension plan is well funded. And my expectation with what the stock market has done over the last year, we are going to be in a very good position this year. But as a practice, it was felt that we should be more in line with what our actuaries say. And as new employees come on, we don't offer the town plan anymore, which had some variation in annual funding. They're now all on the state plan. So that gets a consistent between 7 and 10% that the town has to contribute and the employees contribute a similar amount. And again, that has a $200,000 capital reserve in the budget. And, that's something Trevor and Natalia and I will talk about. And the expectation would be at the July meeting that you would vote on the rates and the budgets.
Is this,
Okay.
Motion?
No,
that was just a discussion.
Okay,
So-
discussion. Okay, got it.
Next month. But you're done with that?
I'm
Yes.
done with that.
Okay. I have a sneeze that's stuck and I'm afraid it's gonna come out. And if it doesn't, sorry. Next up, we have an action item, Tom Marsh Day resolution. You got this one, Tom?
I drafted up a document for the board to sign. It says how wonderful I
He
am.
did
I think.
not.
I did not, no.
However, I did a deep dive on Mr. Marsh in the last week and I had so much fun learning about you. I would just like to say.
Better that it was done as I'm leaving than when I was coming in, that's for sure.
No, it was very good. You've done a lot of stuff throughout the years. So I think it would probably, rather than picking different parts, I'm going to read this really quick because it explains itself. So this is a resolution establishing Tom Marsh Day on June 30th of 2026, which is Tom's last day with us. Whereas Tom Marsh has faithfully served as the town manager of Windsor, Vermont since August 2011, providing nearly 15 years of dedicated public service to the residents of the town of Windsor. And whereas upon arriving in Windsor, Tom immediately faced the unprecedented challenges of helping the community recover from the devastating impacts of Tropical Storm Irene, successfully guiding the town through recovery efforts, FEMA reimbursement processes, and long-term rebuilding initiatives. And whereas throughout his tenure, Tom has demonstrated exceptional leadership, professionalism, fiscal responsibility, and dedication to public service, helping to strengthen Windsor's financial position while making critical investments in the community's future. And whereas under Tom's leadership, the town of Windsor has made substantial improvements to its infrastructure, including investments in roads, sidewalks, water, sewer systems, municipal facilities, a lot of big words, emergency service equipment, municipal vehicle fleets, and the Kennedy Pond Dam, while establishing stronger capital planning practices to ensure long-term sustainability. And whereas Tom successfully leveraged grants, partnerships, and alternative funding sources to reduce costs to taxpayers while advancing projects essential to health, safety, and the prosperity of the community. And whereas Tom has been a tireless advocate for civic engagement, establishing a weekly town newsletter, regularly appearing on our very own Windsor On Air, conducting public outreach and surveys, and ensuring residents remained informed and involved in local government. And whereas Tom fostered strong partnerships with regional and community organizations, including Manascutney Regional Commission, and promoted economic development, historic preservation, business growth, and community revitalization through Windsor. And whereas Tom's extensive background in management, marketing, entrepreneurship, and public administration has enabled him to serve Windsor with vision, creativity, sound judgment, and unwavering commitment. And whereas Tom's leadership, approachability, communication skills, and genuine care for the people of Windsor have earned him the respect and appreciation of residents, colleagues, community leaders, and municipal staff alike. And whereas Tom Marsh's legacy will continue to benefit the town of Windsor for generations throughout infrastructure improvements, financial stability, community partnerships, and civic pride he helped cultivate. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Windsor Select Board hereby expresses its deepest gratitude and appreciation to Tom Marsh for his outstanding service and countless contributions to the town of Windsor. And be it further resolved that the Windsor Select Board hereby designates June 30th, 2026 as Tom Marsh Day in the town of Windsor in recognition of your nearly 15 years of distinguished service, leadership, and dedication to the community. And hoping to adopt this by the Windsor Select Board on this 24th day of June 2026. You get your own day, Tom.
Own day. Well,
Your
let's
own day.
call the vote first.
You might get your
I
own
might get my
day,
own
Tom.
day. Okay.
I'm going to make a motion to adopt the Town of Windsor resolution establishing Tom Marsh Day as June 30th, 2026.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
If I'm allowed, I just say thank you for that nice effort. And it has been a joy to be here these 15 years, and we're very happy that we're staying in town. We love the people, we love the community. So I won't be a gadfly. I'll be here to help whenever anybody needs it, but I just want to say thank you to all the board members that have participated over the years.
All right, Heather, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. MRE still?
Sure am. I will vote aye.
All right, Tom, you got your own day.
Got my own
You
day.
don't get this today. I have to make it more official, put it in a pretty frame, and I will give it to you on Monday.
Okay. Do I get like a scepter or anything like that for today, or-
You know, we'll discuss it.
Okay. I won't push. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We're going to move into old business now with discussion item fiscal year 2026 financial update.
Okay. So I think I'll start. Mary had sent some questions out between the last meeting and now, and I provided answers to the board. Are there questions related to those questions or those answers? Pretty good?
No, yeah, I mean, they're good until we have a major like talk and have to vote and.
Oh,
Okay,
but I
just to
mean,
be able to understand what I was reading.
sure. I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
that's why I had all those.
when you don't live with it every day, there's a lot going on, a lot of moving
Yes.
parts, and a few minutes every couple of weeks generally isn't enough time to provide a lot of detail. I think when we were at that meeting, Natalia speaks in code. She's on vacation last week, and Columbia played a game starting at 10 o'clock last night. I don't know what time it got over, but Columbia won 1-0, and they didn't score the goal until 75 minutes into the game. She was on her A game today, but I think she still was a little tired. But I think the most important thing and this again is all online, if you don't have it, is I think I had mentioned that we were looking to end this fiscal year with about $190,000 deficit, $350,000 deficit. Today, that looks like it's going to be about 190,000. We were conservative in estimates on revenue that would come in and conservative on expenses, and revenues have come in higher. The expenses have come in lower. So we will cut that down by about $160,000.
So just to echo that, we had anticipated losing roughly 350,000, but instead it was more like 190.
And in prior meetings, I went through what got us there, what happened that wasn't budgeted. We've taken some steps along the way. Early on, the departments were told basically stop spending money, don't hire people, that kind of thing. And they've all done a very good job. Really, of that 190, 100 of it is related to the 100,000 under revenue that came in related to the ambulance calls. If you recall, the first quarter of this fiscal year, everything just tanked. Fortunately, it rebounded to prior levels, sometimes a little bit more, but not a lot more. So we've really carried that $100,000 under budget revenue for the entire year. So that brings us back down to 90,000. And I can see where that came from, but on a $7 million budget, I'd like to have a $90,000 surplus, above that, but, that's, I'm grateful for the way the department heads handled things. One of the things that you really don't see, but really helped us out is when it comes to our cash flow, and we haven't had a tax collection due date since, February, and we're still carrying on the whole year. This gets very tight, just like December does, as far as meeting payroll. And this year we happen to have 3 payrolls, but we have a payroll due July 1st. So essentially we have to have the money in the last month of the year when things are tight to meet the payroll. We thought we were going to have to maybe do a short-term line of credit to do that, but we're going to have about 250,000 in the bank, and after we pay all our bills, we still should have about 90,000 in the bank. So that's all very good news. When I say that Natalia talks in code, maybe I'm crazy, but when I talk about deficits or surpluses, I come to the select board and say, what do you want to have done? What do you want to happen this year? And you give me the direction and I say, I think it will cost you this much money. You say, Tom, that's too much. And I say, well, we can't do it for less. And then we decide whether or not we're going to cut things. When we've had the challenges that we've had lately with the school spending hitting the community the way it has, the escalated costs in construction and equipment, I think it's fair to say that the boards over the years have been hoping that we could maintain services, not undermine ourselves, because it's hard to bring things back, and see if we can weather the storm. And certainly last year when we ran a $250,000 deficit, that was 100% due to not being able to get our vehicles new when we were supposed to, our ambulances and our highway trucks, and seeing some pretty significant repair bills, as well as not putting anything into our reserve funds, not putting anything into our capital funds. So there's no cushion, and we cut everything back. And the good part is we do have cash on hand. So we did survive that storm, and we still have the same rec department and police department and fire department. And we go into all of the things that if we cut back on staffing, we will, not could, lose contracts with other communities or the school system, where you lose ambulance revenue. So it's not just cut this and save money. So we've gone through all of that. We still have the services in place, but when we get to the end of the December and the end of the fiscal year, cash flow is really tight. That's why I think it's really important to continue to fund those reserve funds, because those are the funds we can borrow from ourselves at it used to be 2%. Now it's 6% or 5% interest. We can borrow from ourselves for 1.5%, and that saves everybody some money. But when Natalia talks about deficits, and when you see the big numbers in the annual report or the audit, like last year, the number was $1.3 million. Like I said, what I think about is that the deficit is that I run the town for the amount of money I promised you that I would. So that's different than what the accountants look at. They look at all of our projects and the running of the town, cash positions at different times. And the most common thing that really skews things are we buy a fire truck in June, which happened. We put the air conditioners on the roof in the gym. It was $300,000. We spent that money in fiscal 25. The reimbursement came in fiscal 26. So we showed a $300,000 extra expense last year. This year, we're getting a $300,000 extra revenue. And that happens all the time. Every grant we get, every time we do paving and we're waiting for bond money to come in or something like that, there's overlaps, and it generally all washes out. But going through all those things, when we were talking during the budget and related to the conversation last time, is when we pulled apart all of the projects we've done in 15 years, all of them came in on the money except the dam project that happened in 2010. And it's my fault. we did repairs. I do think I was given information that we had cash on hand that didn't exist. And I did state that we needed to go out and bond for those repairs. And with all the other stuff that was going on, I dropped the ball and we never bonded for it. So that's $540,000 that came out of what was supposed to be surpluses. But again, in accounting, if you have accounts receivable that are actually bad debt, it looks like you have an asset on the books that you end up having to write off. And that was kind of the biggest issue going on back then. So that's the decision that gets made. Do you want to borrow to get that money back to really help the cash flow position? Do you want to kind of save your way out of it, continue to save in the general fund reserve and capital funds and save in the water and sewer capital fund so that you have the cash on hand to do it? Natalia and Trevor and I will be talking about that. There's no timeline that you have to have a decision made. It's just a matter of how you want the operations to run. And between projects, 540, and I do run that up to about 600,000 because there's other costs associated with that. And the 300,000 in deficits we ran the prior 2 years, that gets us about to where that big number comes from. But it's not just the town operating, it's all of the projects, and it accumulates one way or the other, as long with the operating budget that we vote on every year. So position is getting better. That part is good. It's a far cry from being perfect, but maybe it all works out the same. When I got here, we had no money in the bank. We had a lot of bad debt on the books, and things are difficult. So now we've be able to put $1.5 million in the bank, but we're also $1.5 million behind. So we're kind of in the same position, but we have money in the bank. It sounds better or worse, depending on how you look at it. But along the way, there's a lot of capital work that has been done, over those years. But I do want to reiterate that other than that first dam project, every other dam project, every road project, every culvert, every sidewalk came in within a percent above or below. That we've done a good job managing.
Was that all of this as well?
Yeah. Oh, the good news on the grand list value. Seeing growth in the grand list has been very difficult, not just for us, but I think most communities in Vermont. Growth in the grand list is nice because it kind of bakes in additional revenue that I know when I was in Connecticut, we could have a 2 to 3% grand list growth every year, which offset a 3% budget growth. So you can do that here. Our grand lists have been very flat, other than the adjustment that comes with a revaluation. So that doesn't only get you more money, just distributes who pays differently. This year, it looks like there will be about a 2% increase. That sounds good. I think we estimated the municipal budget tax rate to go up about 9.5%. Maybe that's going to be closer to 8 or 8.5% when the final calculations are all done. So that part's good. The bad news is a lot of that increased value on our grand list came through a reformulation that the state did on how utilities pay taxes on all the power lines and equipment that are in towns. So anybody who has a power bill will likely end up seeing an increase in their utility rates, but at least that means yelling at somebody different than people in this building. So that's it for that.
Were there any questions? All right, we'll move on to discussion item housing update.
So housing update is good news. We have a new resident living in 38 Jarvis Street. They moved in the beginning of the month. We received a check. There's now money back in the revolving loan fund. And we got 139,000. I think it netted out 135 after fees and that kind of stuff. So we're break even plus on that whole project. That's good. The two new houses, the one house we'll have new tenants effective July 1st. It's a couple who works here in town. So it's exactly the profile we were looking for. It's renting for $1,900 a month, doesn't include any of the utilities except water and sewer. So that's fair market rent. The other house, and we've taken it off the sale market. The other house is still on the sale market, and we'll keep it there until it gets rented at 225 or 229. I think 229. They probably are overpriced, but if we can continue to get the rental income on that, we can work out the same way we did the Jarvis house, where eventually we get enough back that we can market it for whatever the market is saying at that moment. So that's all good.
So the rental income that will start July 1st will go, where will that money go?
The revolving loan fund.
Okay.
And the intention is that they pay utility bills, they pay property taxes. We could waive the property taxes since the town owns them, but we want to have it a financial profile so that if an investor wanted to buy it or a person wanted to buy it, that you get a fair picture of what the cost is of ownership. But those taxes will as well get put back into the property. And we're getting a water and sewer bill that we didn't used to get from that property, and we are getting property taxes that are 4 to 5 times higher than it was before. That'll go on forever. Okay.
All right, so next up is discussion item summer public outreach. That would be us. So last year we did some public outreach for the sole purpose of finding out what people were looking for in their new town manager. But we actually, I know you weren't here, Heather, but those of us that were here really enjoyed the public outreach part and talking with people and having those conversations outside of the select board room. So I know that we've all kind of talked here and there. I just figured we would put it on the agenda this month so that we can, communicate via email. But if we could come up with a few dates, kind of like we did before, like a little sporadic, so that we kind of give everyone a chance. We had talked about we have concerts on the common. Last year, I know that we set up in the insurance parking lot right on Main Street, Price Chopper. So there's a lot of places where we can just kind of hang out. Tom, I was trying to remember what you said. When we did it before, we kept it under a quorum, but if we were to do all 5 board members, would it just have to be a special meeting? Like, how would you technically?
I would say it would, because you're not going to be able to avoid talking about town business when you're talking about
So
stuff
is it
like
better
that.
to keep us in separate groups?
I mean, you guys seem to have success meeting people where they were rather than, having come to us kind of thing. There's no reason you can't do both, but if there is going to be a majority of the board, I strongly suggest it's a warrant meeting.
Mary?
I think it'd be hard to get all 5 of us together.
Probably
somewhere
would be,
anyway.
but I was like, just in case, just wanted to check.
I mean, it was hard enough doing the 2 here, the 3 here last year, so
Yeah,
I think if we even get 2, we'll be really good. And then we took shifts on a couple of them because we had 3 people that wanted to participate, so.
yeah. Yeah,
Is
so
it,
maybe
when are the
throughout-
concerts on the common start? Do you know, Tom? Is it the 9th of July?
It's usually early July, like after the 4th of July, but I haven't seen the schedule yet.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but 4th of July is on a Saturday, so I was thinking maybe, like the 8th of, the following week.
From what I understand, they're going back to Wednesdays, because I think that they changed it going back to the common. I mean, they've been there last year too.
They were there last year. It was Wednesdays last year.
Yep.
Because, I'll sign right up for the concerts, so you got 1 at least.
and I would come,
And Jeffrey's right around the
It's easy for
corner.
me.
I know you guys live right there, so that's
Walk over. Yeah.
super convenient.
As soon as we find out, we can ask Riley what.
Yeah. And now that dates are coming out and we're kind of getting into July, I just figured if we throw some dates out for July, maybe a couple for August, and just see where we land. I think I think we'll do great things. Jeffrey?
Do we have any specific topics or ideas that we want to discuss, or is this
That's what,
unstructured?
yes, we had brought that up. I think we learned last year, it's definitely better to have some type of focus, whether or not it's as simple as like, what do you think the 3 biggest problems that we have in town are, like, but some type, not just like,
Combine chat.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. So, yeah, I think like we could kind of hone it in on like, this is what we're looking for so that we can better help.
I think we could do that by replying all through email, couldn't we? Like,
Do a
Stuff
date,
like that,
yeah.
okay.
like what would be the topic or whatever, like suggestions. I think we could figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
soon.
Yep, and we'll make some nice flyers just like we did last year. That really worked a lot. People were like, we saw it and like people were coming just to see us.
And I put it on front porch and I kept doing that weekly, so I'll do that again.
It was a very positive experience and I'm really looking forward to doing it again. Yes.
So the feedback I've gotten from, this is going to relate somehow, from our event last Monday night was that there was a certain segment of the population socioeconomically missing. And several people have mentioned that to me, and I wondered if we could also reach out to folks who live in some of the apartments, complexes. I mean, by putting signs or posters in their public areas, just so that we could have a more diverse response.
That's a good idea.
Thinking like the state in Maine and
Yep.
maybe Old Windsor Village.
Yeah,
Those kind of
those are the
places,
two
what I mean, is that kind of what
areas.
you're thinking of?
Well, yeah,
Those
that
kind
was mentioned to me, yeah.
And they might even have their own bulletin.
Well, hopefully
board
they do.
run.
And what about, I wonder about River Street. I don't know if there's a public kind of place
Bulletin
to,
board down there.
I don't
or something.
think there is, but I mean, if we're trying to reach folks.
Well, I'll put posters out like I did last year and even Cumberland's has a physical bulletin board, and then World War II, the memorial down there has them. I can put it on like the door of the Welcome Center, the Resource Center will have it. I'm just,
Oh,
that's the
okay.
only thing I can think
Yeah.
of down in that area other than having
Okay.
a physical
Yeah,
bulletin board.
okay. I just think it was
But-
noticed.
'Cause I have a whole list at home.
Yeah,
So,
seems like an easy fix.
And I can see how the apartments may not have participated, but the big driver was the rec center. Like that was also the Little League
Yep.
in the season,
Yes.
so that casts a much broader net.
It does.
around
I
town.
noticed that, yeah. I noticed that.
And so including them, like having James distribute that through the Windsor Rec Facebook page or whatever that network is, that's pretty.
I always put
heavy.
a poster up there too also. Like a flyer.
Well, I'm just saying,
And-
he's got a way to get the word
yeah.
of things out.
People just listen to him. I don't know what it is.
Is there a place at the ponds now that people are swimming?
I mean,
Posters?
it's not really. There's not some place where people would look like.
No, but the dog park has a bulletin board.
Does it?
Did you know that?
For the fairgrounds?
Mm-hmm. Did you see it? Yeah. I hung, what did I hang on there? I hung something on there, but yeah, they have, it was Overdose Awareness Day last year. They have like it's a little one, but it has like a little roof and it's right next to the dog park.
Just
The one up at the fairgrounds.
add this to the list I have
Yeah.
and to keep track, because it's usually me doing it anyway, so I'll add these to that.
All right. Tom, are you ready to do your last town manager's report?
Sure, I'm ready. Everything's fine.
His
Uh,
last words.
Everything's fine. It's all
Everything's
fine.
fine.
Don't worry, it's all fine. The paving is probably done for this year, because of, some savings on Central Street in particular. So Central and Durkee was paved, Depot was paved. We were gonna do, Dunham, the little side street up by St. Paul's. There was a water main or the old, who are those people?
Um,
Come on. Then,
it was a daycare, but before that,
Yeah.
it was.
the Masonic.
Oh, yes.
Sorry about that. Anyway, they had to do some work and they hit a pipe and anyway, so there's a big hole up there and it's a short street. So they may come back if, their schedule allows to take care of that, but if not, it can go on in the fall. The park and ride project that is down on River Street was supposed to get paved, but we don't have the approval after 2 years from the state. And I don't know if we're talking past each other or the rules have changed, but in 2017, we got a grant to put a park and ride down there. And we just put a hard pack that we put in the drainage and all that kind of stuff. So the state said, you guys need a park and ride? You know, we have this money. So Windsor and one other town are the only two that applied and we got money in 2024, I think. And they keep asking for environmental stuff. And I said, all we're doing is putting blacktop on top of what we already have there. And the regional planning agency has been the point on that, and they speak that language more. My position has been, I don't want to spend any money on engineers or anything like that, because I don't know that we are in, a big yank to have a park and ride down there. You can park there already. It doesn't matter if it's paved or not. And the Stacy Yard that is there, we have some brownfields money that's supposed to remediate that the same way it did the park. So trucks can be going back and forth over that. So that was supposed to be done and it wasn't. We took some of that money and did the entrance inside the gate to Goodyear. Anybody went to dump day? That was terrible, big holes. And since they let us use it, we spent like $15,000 to make that a smoother ride going in. You see the charging stations out front.
Mhm.
So that was a Green Mountain Power project. They were supposed to go over in that parking lot on River Street originally, but when that got tied up, we said, put them here. So if they're not operational now, they should be shortly. They're fast chargers. Trevor has owned an electric car and seems much more up to speed on how all that works, but you have to pay to use them.
Usually, yeah, through an app or there's usually right at the kiosk there, a different way you can pay. It's a few different models.
Okay. So it's not going on the town's electric bill. That's a question I get a lot. And how long does it take to charge?
A rapid charger can be, depends on where you're starting from, but newer ones, 35 minutes to an hour to.
Wow, that's quicker than a
Whereas
phone.
Level 2 can be hours
Okay.
to get some amount of charge, depends on speed, really.
So they're there. There's matching ones up out in front of Silo. So anyway, we have electric chargers done. The skate park is under construction to get the second phase there. You can use the other phase. I was personally rewarded. I think I was down there with my LBA dog in the dog park over the weekend, and a dad and his like 8-year-old son showed up, and the dad was a very good skateboarder. The kid, not so much, but I figure those who use it say it's good. And I think it's going to be a nice asset down there that we all forget about how it ever got there and what used to be there. But I'm very pleased. The picnic tables are in, grills are in, dog park is in, probably need another trash can, probably need a little bit of grass, but it's a nice spot down
It is.
Yeah.
So I have a question about dump day. Okay, this may sound weird. I know when we were getting ready for dump day, we had a lot of stuff. And some of it was items that we didn't want to trash or put in the trash because it had personal information like social security numbers. Would it be an option, and I don't know if anyone else would use it but me, to have a shred box somewhere down there when we do recycling? I mean, I burned our shredder out trying to shred, so, and I don't want to burn it,
I can do one better.
What can you do?
Right outside that door is a secure shred thing.
That's what I'm looking
So
for.
it's a locked box. The guy comes once a month to put it in a shredder. We actually had a shredder day.
Right.
And I
Oh,
think the only two people who used it was me shredding all my old business records
yeah,
and
that's
Jeff
right.
White writing all of his old.
I know
And nobody else
it's in
came.
there too. Okay, I just wondered if other people have that issue, because
But it hasn't been broadly announced, but after seeing that nobody showed up for that, we contracted with the company to get that and we handle it, through our municipal records, but there's plenty of capacity there. So,
yeah, because we didn't want to burn it, in the front yard or something. I mean, yeah, we were looking for people who had, but anyway, stuff.
okay, well, there you go. A little bit every meeting for your tenure remaining on the board,
I probably would do it.
and yeah, it'll be gone.
We'll find more.
Uh-huh. Or I can find out when the guy comes and I can say, hey, the thing's empty. The guy's coming tomorrow. Get down here and load it all up.
Okay.
Anyway, but it is an option for the community and it's right on the
I
line.
had no idea. Okay, thank you.
How about the transition process?
How we doing, Trevor?
Doing great.
We're doing great. I think I'm wearing out my welcome. From my perspective, it's been very smooth. I come in a couple hours a day. I do some work from home. I finished up the utility budgets. I finished up the police contract, those bigger things that are dangling out there. There's nothing of any significance that I can see that it's going to get dumped in his lap. So I think the amount of time has been good. And like I've said, I will be as available as anybody wants me to be. But I won't be coming to all meetings and just hanging out in the cool new chairs that are out there to bother. Probably.
Been very helpful to have Tom. He's been very gracious with his time and his history and his knowledge, and a nice advantage to get when you come somewhere new, having done them completely cold, where you have to find everything. To have somebody you can be like, hey, what's the story behind this? Because there's almost always a story behind everything.
Yeah.
So I've certainly been very appreciative and very helpful. It's a gift in a lot of ways to have that overlap. So
And hopefully you're finding the staff has been friendly. And I would say there's everybody here. I've heard nothing but positive, and they certainly collectively know a whole lot more about how this town runs than I do. So
started bringing me weird one-offs, which is both a sign of acceptance and a little troublesome. It's always weird. Hey, have you ever seen?
You never know what you're gonna see
Yeah.
around you.
Sometimes yes, sometimes like I can't say that I've seen that.
I started sitting in the back zoning office. Did you walk past Trevor to get to me with this? The new guy's up front. Take your problems up there. He handles it much better than I am in my current state of mind.
Glad everything is going well.
And my plan is, I probably won't be in the office next week. I'm in town unless something comes up, but from my perspective anyway, my email inbox is down to like 7. I think that transition is going okay. We do have a meeting with an engineering company on Tuesday, but I think things are in pretty good shape.
Mary?
Trevor, do you have your email address? Yeah.
It got fixed the same day.
Everybody had, like, at some point, it went from like mine is T Marsh to like Tom.Marsh is what all the new employees were getting. And then I saw this Trevor.Lashua at windsor.org, so I figured everything was set up. I don't know where that came from, but his email is just T Lashua. Like mine is T Marsh, so it's that form. And
Was Heather's fixed on the website?
it was
Uh-huh.
getting inundated with emails.
So many.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job.
As an assistant.
And I, from Trevor and I's conversations, he's happy to take on the newsletter. We're going through that kind of transition process. I think this will be the last one that I'm going to do. But Trevor has been, up to speed on the logins and how it all works. So that should go. And maybe even Windsor on Air things.
talked a little bit today about keeping that going.
Around town with Trevor.
I made sure, yeah.
Am I the only one that thinks he looks like that Zach Galifianakis? The guy,
Galifianakis.
that guy between two ferns.
There's
I don't know,
some
I'm thinking-
there's some similarity.
Between two pines, between two maples. It could
There's
be
a
a new
little
format.
similarity, like a little.
I don't put pressure
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Does anyone else see it?
You can say no.
Little. Um, it probably is. Let's see.
Okay.
Were you done before I cut you off? Were you done with your
I'm-
final town manager?
You know, I already said thank you. I'll just say thank you once again. I've really enjoyed my time here. I appreciate the community and I look forward to being a member of it. That's sincere. It should be.
Yeah. Does anyone have any ideas for upcoming agenda items? All right. Do we have orders to sign tonight? We do. We would just need a motion to sign orders.
Make a motion to sign orders.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Heather, how do you vote?
Aye.
Aye. Taking us there. All right, so we will sign the orders. And are there any public comments for items not on the agenda? Hearing none, I will start us off with board member comments tonight. I'm going to say thank you again. Also, it's the night of thank yous. But I want to say thank you to you, Tom, for everything that you've done for Windsor, but also for everything that you've taught me. You taught me how to be a better chair. You taught me how to navigate municipal government. And I'm really thankful to have had your guidance through all of this. But let's not forget that you are retiring when you got your first ever all-women select board. Like,
Coincidence?
I don't know if this is a coincidence or if we finally just scared you away. But seriously, your guidance, your patience, especially with me, and your dedication to this town have meant so much. In the 15 years that you've been town manager, you made Windsor a better place. And I thank you for that. I wish you the best retirement and the best of luck. And we will only call you when we really need you, which will probably be next week. Just kidding.
It's okay. I'll probably call him next week.
We'll both be calling you next week.
Well, I'm sure Trevor would second this, but it's hard to do this job when you have dysfunctional boards. And in all the years that I've been here, there has never been a majority of the board that was really difficult, or even difficult at all. So a lot of that credit of everything that's been accomplished here goes to the fact that the boards have been reasonable, thoughtful, and informed. So thanks a lot for that.
And then before I wrap up, I also want to say, I know Tom's getting all of the everything take, but I just want to say, welcome, Trevor.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I really do think that you are going to be the best fit for Windsor, and I'm really looking forward to working with you and having you be our town manager. And now I'm done.
Well, I think you pretty much said it all, so I don't think I have to repeat everything Tara just said, but thank you, Tom. Great to have you on board, Trevor. Look forward to, us meeting with you and working with you, and I'll just let it go with that for the moment. Seeing Tara said everything.
I rehearsed this like 5 times on my way down here to make sure that I would get everything in there.
Just say thank you, Tom. We'll carry on and do our best.
At the risk of sounding repetitive, thank you, Tom, for your service. Glad you're gonna still be around in town. Hope you enjoy retirement, your grandkids, the pets, all the stuff. And warm welcome to Trevor. Looking forward to working with you.
We also know where you were.
Long, steep driveway.
It is. And you have someone like Mo is your, neighbor who has like all of those excavators and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you could.
Currently rebuilding the driveway after all that torrential rain we had. Because I live on a private road. I don't get any town services for the exorbitant tax bill I pay.
Did it damage you guys' driveway?
It's pretty big works.
Wow.
I'm doing my best. Are we done? Doing my
Yes.
best to organize things. This is one of those loan documents. It's got stickers there. Some of the signage places have names, others don't. So just pay attention to that. This is the warrant thing, just to cover. This is this nice thing that when you sign it will be suitable for framing, and I will appreciate that and have it. And I have dog-eared 2 pages. It's page 28 and 32. This is the police contract. And there's no line for you. So it just says for the town of Windsor, where you see that, that's where you sign it. Underneath for the town of Windsor. Okay. There we go. Is Emma still here?
Yes.
No. Gotcha. I kind of broken up about the whole thing.
Oh, she did come on before, but then she just.
It's fine if I need it. So we.
You just told us what page.
28 and 32. They're dog-eared.
Because like we usually end up starting to chat and then something else comes up. And so
Sign it and.
now everybody gets to
On the left-hand side under.
talk
it says
about
for the
random
town of Windsor.
things for 5 minutes at the end. I'm pretty sure that's when everyone changes the channel, but. Yeah.
How was Switzerland?
Really fun. Covered a lot of ground. And,
32 doesn't say anything, just.
The other side. Oh, is it 33? Nope.
Yeah.
You want a date on this?
Did you go to,
Ellen made me go paragliding, but
yeah, big mountains over there.
so they take you way up top this mountain, switch back to get to the top, they lay out the gear. And there's like a dude with you and buckles me in and he goes, so we're gonna run down this hill. And when you get to the edge, just jump. Every fiber of my being is telling me this is not a good idea.
But did you do it?
Paragliding. I did. That's what she wanted to do and nobody else was gonna do it. So
I saw pictures.
Oh.
Guide, you were up there.
I wouldn't be able to do it. I would have died.
About the Brazil incident, remember the.
But was it amazing?
it was, I mean, the views were spectacular. It was in Interlaken. So the town is just this beautiful, piece of land. And then you have these twin lakes. There's like Lake Thun and Lake Bernese. And so they're turquoise waters. So you're just hovering like a bird, just looking down and just seeing all this beauty. And like backdrop is the snow-capped mountains and it just doesn't seem real, It's
It's amazing.
just this page on this page.
28, 32.
Oh,
Or is it, I think 32, not 30.
Make you sign a waiver?
no.
I know.
It is the weirdest thing. Ellen and I said it after like,
To sign your life away?
and one of the guys jumped in the van with a sandwich in one hand and a beer in the other, and he goes, who's ready to do this? I'm like, I'm not going with you.
Would have-
No liability waiver, nothing. Even asked for my name.
It's crazy. My daughter just got back from Bora Bora, and they did like crazy jet skiing and no waivers anywhere. They did all kinds
Yeah, you can die there and I don't,
of things. They died in mine, yeah.
they're like, hey, you chose to do it.
Are you a Jersey?
No, they're almost down here. I just have to sign them and then, I promise. Do you want me to sing to you? Good, because I can't really sing, so
That's okay.
that was gonna be people.
Did you see any base jumpers while you're there? That's one of the biggest places where those crazy people do that.
No.
That looks scary.
Yeah.
That's the one, that's like,
I can't do any, I'm scared of heights. I can't, like, I tried zip lining And I didn't fail, like I did it, but everybody else, like we were in the White Mountains. And so like there were these views that were amazing. I didn't see anything because I was clenching my rope with my eyes closed, literally having a panic attack, like 500 feet in the air. And like, I'd get to the next spot and I'd hear the people, this is the most beautiful view I've ever seen. And I was like, what was it?
My son was a zipline guide at Mount Washington and sweet gig. You know, you take two groups a day. The people who had fun tip you stupid money, you know?
Yeah, living on the edge.
Yeah, and signing a lot of
And
money.
they were signing waivers. Here you do sign waivers for
landed the lawsuit, you know.
like all of that. So it is amazing though. I hear my friends like they'll go on vacay and they're like, I didn't even have to sign it.
Well, it's insane. You don't have to sign waiver in Canada. Oh, it's only here. Because every billboard, you know, personal injury.
These all done?
Yes.
Everything.
Oh, look at that.
This is all-
Personal estimate
Those-
for the order.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, okay. Just hand it over.
Thank you.
Oh. That's
This is part
that's
of,
part, all this.
I was
sticker
gonna
things.
say,
Okay, give me those.
yeah, I got you. This is this,
Oh, go ahead and sign those, yeah.
but I signed both of them.
We need to come in to sign.
The other,
Next week.
I have no idea.
I get yelled at a lot
So
for
there's that.
not keeping the papers that get signed in order and getting them back to Natalia.
Let's go with that too.
Oh, so we don't need this back one right here? It's not marked.
No, just the
front
cover
one.
sheet.
Okay. So here's your folder. That's one.
Well, for the select board, anybody who wants to come to a public hearing tomorrow for the planning commission before their regular meeting, it's at 6 o'clock tomorrow. Has to do with zoning and stuff and town plan. And it has to be.
I got, well, I saw T Marsh and I was like,
The
that's
first
my last
stop.
name, but I'm the other T at the top there.
And they'll go
And
into.
then pretty soon it'll be. T.
Be so-
What?
James to
We're,
Q, so
we're
you
keeping,
know,
we haven't, that was just the only one on that one, right?
There's a whole bunch of those.
And this one.
Is involved and they,
Wait, I got that one. I got that one. Okay, I got these two.
There has to be another,
And then I did not do these ones.
yeah, because they're working on a town plan that has to be done by sometime in 27. Believe it or not, some people have been coming to those regular meetings and,
that's still going on.
yep. In fact, they're reading twice a month instead of once a month now. But, I think
One
it's
more.
to at least have a couple select.
One more, I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Because the state tells them they have to do that part. So.
Those are signed.
Okay.
Those are signed.
Okay.
This I'm taking, but I'm gonna bring back, I promise.
Okay.
And that's not mine. And that's not
Did you
mine.
sign the contract?
Ooh, nope.
Okay.
See, I knew I was missing something. Oh,
earlier
I did.
page.
Oh, you did?
Scratch that.
No,
I did.
earlier
It's-
page, that was the acknowledgement of arbitration, so you gotta come back.
There
you go.
Okay, yes, I did.
Okay.
Just wanted to
Well,
make
good.
sure.
Okay.
All right. I am going to adjourn this meeting at 7:52.